I've got a pen and I've got a phone, and I can use that pen to sign executive orders.
The president has a pen. We have legislative authority too, and there's a lot of things that can be stopped that he wants.
He will use every opportunity available to him to move the ball down the field with Congress.
He's violating the law. He's exceeded his constitutional authority.
We can't wait for Congress to solve it. Where I can act on my own without Congress, I'm going to do so.
Violating the Constitution. There's no question about this, folks. It's just a matter of whether people in power and the authority to do so want to stop it.
Congress, look out. The threats keep coming. That's right. President Obama again today promising to bypass Congress, pick up a pen whenever he can, sign executive orders. Senator John Cornyn joins us. Nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you, Greta.
President exercising authority, or is this an impermissible power grab?
Well, I think it's gotten him in a lot of trouble. I mean, if you look at Obamacare, it was a party line vote and trying to do it his way alone and with no bipartisan support is pretty dangerous in this town. But I think he's basically burned a lot of bridges with Congress, and so I think he doesn't have a lot of options there. Although there remain bipartisan solutions to a lot of problems. The House has passed a lot of bills, for example, in the jobs area that would help grow the economy, but Harry Reid hadn't taken a single one of them up. So it's we're kind of in an ugly place right now.
But is it, I mean, some people, when you heard the Karl Rove soundbite, says that he's exceeding his constitutional authority. He did say today that where I can act on my own, which I took to mean is that where he's within, the authority of an executive, the executive branch. But there's been a lot of criticism of him that he has so changed, for instance, the health care bill by exemptions and waivers that it's no longer what Congress passed at the beginning, and that he has, so the question is, has he overstepped his power?
He has, and this is one of the most common questions I get back home in Texas is people wonder, why can't you stop this? I said, well, the Congress passes the laws, but the executive branch is the one that's supposed to enforce the laws. But what do you do when you have a overly politicized executive branch, including Eric Holder, who refused to hold the president accountable, refused to enforce the law? And you get what we have now, which is essentially a lawlessness in the administration that is very troubling, to say the least. You have private litigation like we had in the Obamacare litigation that made its way all the way to the Supreme Court. The issues that relative to birth control and abortion and the mandates there in Obamacare that are now Sonia Sotomayor has stayed. But this is something. This is new ground, unprecedented.
If the president is violating the Constitution, is there anything that can be done to stop that, other than to sort of run out the clock and wait for the next administration? I mean, is there anything that you can do to hold a president? And I'm not saying that this president's overstepping. I certainly know the criticism, but is there anything that can be done?
Well, I think the most important thing that my party needs to do is to elect a majority and to retire Senator Harry Reid as the majority leader, because right now he's a virtual dictator in the Senate. He's refusing any sort of input by Republicans or Democrats by way of amendments and votes.
Why is he doing that?
I think because he thinks he's protecting his members against tough votes. They know that the birds are coming home to roost on Obamacare. All the promises the president and his allies made are proving to be untrue, and they know that the day of accountability is coming. So what he's trying to do is mitigate any additional harm to them, and hope for the best in November. But to me, the most important thing that happens in 2014 is the election in November, when we finally have some accountability, and then we're able to provide, I think, a more effective check on the presidential power, along with the investigations and the oversight that the House is doing, because they're a majority. But in the Senate, with the Democratic majority, they're giving the president a pass, and we can do a lot better, and we need to.
Well, it certainly is an interesting constitutional issue, because the president has vast authority, but he doesn't have unlimited authority. Right. And and it's so interesting that there's almost no mechanism by which we can even litigate it and argue it, other than in the political, and then the question never gets answered.
We've never had this
never had
before.
Anyway, Senator, nice to see you, sir.
Great to see you.